All right, let's get going. Sentence 1. Have you not heard? Have you not heard? This world was once peaceful. Now, well, say. Who is this? This is Sam. Look, Sam. All right, so there we go. We have it. So now what we're going to do is we're going to decide when does the breaking part comes in the conversation, or will it even be one? So let's see. We have you not heard? This world was once peaceful, but now, well, let's just say many people do not know how to help people nowadays. Or maybe I just do not understand why the king will have us out on the field doing nothing. So that would be where the first part is. So part 1 consists of these 3 sentences. Okay, and we'll make part 2 consists of, look, Sam, let's believe that the king is actually on our side. For once, okay? And who knows, maybe you wanted a little secret to happen here, so you trick people thinking that's the end of the conversation. But no, it's not. There's another part to this conversation. You are right. I will close my eyes and hope that will change. Truth. Okay. Oh, and by the way, if you do this, it just allows you to keep it within, kind of keep it within the same length. But all this is going to do is continue. It's just going to continue the string. That's it. So you can just put it on another line, and you can just keep it looking kind of neat instead of going all the way to the right of the screen, and now you have to scroll over just to see the rest of the text. You're right. That's the truth. All right, so there we go. We have our whole entire dialogue with Sam. It consists of 3 parts. So how do we do this? We just created the whole entire dialogue. How do we make sure it works correctly? Let's go to Convo part max. There's part 1, part 2, part 3. There's 3 parts inside this conversation, so we change that to 3. We're going to start it on the first sentence, part 1. So we're going to put this at 1. Inside part 1, there's 3 sentences. Okay, so we're going to go to the number max, and we're going to put 3. That lets us know it's 3. And we're going to start it on the first sentence. So that's 1. This guy, have you not heard? This world used to be peaceful, but now, well, let's say many people do not know. Okay, so it seems like this guy's kind of sad, right? So we're going to add dynamics into this conversation by using this timer at which how fast the text actually scrolls. You know, this is a very dynamic engine, but first we got to set everything up. So let's move over here to sentence 1. All right, so let's see here. What do we have here? Have you not heard? This is Sam. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do something a little cool, actually. We're gonna draw the sprite of who's talking, right? Let's go ahead and do that. Should we? We might get back to that, but I want to show you how good it is to add something like that. First, what we're going to do is we're going to take care of what really needs to be taken care of in order for the conversation to continue. And that is here, the conversation part. So when you reach part 2, what is going to happen? How do you make sure it continues? Okay, well, part 2 is right here, right? So part 2 has 3 sentences, and the last sentence in part 2 is 6. So what we're going to do is we're going to change the number max, which is this right here, the number max. We gotta change the num max, and that's going to equal 6. You kind of get what I'm going to, right? Yep, we're in part 2, so we're gonna make it now equal 6. We're gonna start the player on sentence 4. So we're going to, yeah, you guessed it. We're gonna change num to 4. Bam, just like that. And then of course we need to start the scrolling text back at 0. So scrolling text is gonna equal 0. This is a break. So this is when the player can actually pause and walk around and come back and talk to the player to continue. So now we're going to make both the conversation equal false. That will allow the conversation to stop. And if you decide to make it to where the player cannot move while you're talking, we need to make sure the global one is equal to false too. There we go. Cool, so now he's on part 3. What happens on part 3? Pretty much the same exact thing. You just simply change it. The max amount of sentences, it stops at speak 9. So that's 9. We're gonna start the player at 7. Boom. Okay, so now we need to figure out, do we want it to automatically reset the whole convo, which we did not do inside of the engine? That could be kind of bad. But the way we do that is, okay, cool. So what we need to do is we need to set the num. Okay, so it can automatically set the conversation all the way back to the beginning. So we're gonna put the default values for this character. So num max for this character, the first part is 3. So it's going to equal 3. Okay, then we're gonna go ahead and set the convo part to equal 1. We want it to be on the first part of the conversation. We need to reset the scrolling text back to 0. We need to also stop the conversation, and then we need to allow the player to move. And then we need to make sure nothing else can happen. So let's exec. There. So do we want it to automatically reset this to the default, or do we want it to stop and continue to repeat part 3? Now what we're gonna do real quick is we're going to actually take this. I'm gonna actually copy or cut that real quick. And because we actually added what should have been added before we saved it, we're just gonna resave this down because it's an engine. When you load it, you don't need to keep coming down here for it to reset automatically. It's set up to where if you don't want it to reset automatically, I'll show you exactly how you do that. So let's go ahead and back into here. Let's find the file, override it, and we are good to go. Now let me go ahead and undo. Boom. All right. So let's say we just wanted to keep repeating on part 3, right? We don't want it to actually reset everything. So what do? Okay. It gets to part 4, right? In part 4, we're going to keep it at part 3. So we're going to do num max. It's going to equal 9. We're going to do num, going to equal 7. We're going to do scroll text, going to equal 0. We're going to do convo, which is going to equal false. And we're going to do global, going to equal false. And because of how the whole engine's set up, this will automatically keep making the numbers not... Actually, we don't need to do that. Inside of here. Wow, I did not realize this, but you can simply just do this. Boom. It resets the part down 1. And then it will automatically keep being less than 3, and so it will automatically stay on 3. If you wanted to always reset to part 2, you simply will figure out this is part 3, we need to subtract 2. And boom, it will automatically continue to stay on 2, because now, since it's equal 3 and you took away 2, it's at 0, so plus is 1, or wait, 3, take away 2, it's at 1. Wow, so plus is 1 is back at 2, so on, etc. So there you go. I didn't realize that. I was about to do something completely different that I did in my other engine, but now since I know that, I will update that myself. So there you go. That's how you keep it looping on the current part. There. So now he will always repeat, starting off from you're right. I will close my eyes, blah, blah, blah. There we have it. So let's go ahead and test this and see if it actually works correctly, right? Why not? So that's how you set everything up. Oh yeah, that's right. We have a sprite, so we need to take that off. Okay, so what I had to do is I accidentally put the keyboard functions on Steven, so I just changed it to player, just like that. There we go, so here's our player, and he is moving. So I am pressing E. I'm pressing R, nothing is happening. Let's move over. I'm pressing E, because E is to start the conversation. And, ooh, have you not heard? This world was once peaceful, but now, well, let's just say, when many people do not help each other, and just so you can see, it is right here, when people are there. So the break is coming up. It should actually pause. Player should be able to move around. Now, if you notice, I am still able to move around. Let's say you do not want that in your game. I will show you how to fix that. But here we go, R. Boom, it's done. So now when I come back, I should say, look, Sam. Look, Sam. Let's believe the king is actually on our side for once, okay? It's another pause. You come back. You're right. I will close my eyes and hope that that will change the truth. Not really what I was saying, but that will do for now. Boom. It should repeat. You're right. I will close my eyes and hope that that will change the truth. Not really what I was saying, but that will do for now. Now, isn't that actually awesome? So let's come back and let's fix it to where the player cannot move while you're talking. And this is when you do simply if global.convo equals true. And you just go down to the bottom. And there, he will not be able to move while the conversation box is open. How did you see that? That was actually pretty cool, right? That was pretty cool. So you come here, boom, just like that. Let's go ahead and move him over here. Okay. And now we're going to make Steven say something. First things first, I'm going to bring in the update. Because when we did this, we forgot to add the automatic reset. Here, cool, awesome. All right, sweet. So now we want to make Steven say something. Okay. let's go ahead and see. And after this, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make another character without saying anything. And I'm gonna let you see how long it actually takes to make another character talk and all that kind of stuff. Then after that, I will show you, or actually after this, I will show you how you add dynamics to your text box. All right. So let's see. Let's go ahead and get started and make him start speaking. Let's do this and let's be like, have you met my friend Sam? Normally he is always, okay, that's actually a contradiction. Normally he is always in this state, but not right now. That means he's not always. Normally he is funny, but since a lot of things has been happening within town. And one more thing, in order for this to work, you need the semicolon to stay at the end. It's FYI. In the town, he has been down. Maybe you butter up. Okay, so this is gonna actually end up being part 1. Okay, let me go ahead. Sorry about that. So this is going to be part 1. This one's going to be part 2. Now I have this set up because what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you that if we do not talk to Sam first, Steve character will actually start off on this sentence. If we talk to Sam and we get to the end of the conversation, then go talk to Steve, he will actually start off with part 2. I want to show you how to actually use all these different dynamics. This video is pretty much teaching you how to use the engine that you just built, or maybe that you actually just went on and brought. So then you can actually put this into your game and make whatever it is you want to make, any kind of dialogue session. It's a very powerful engine, and I really want to touch base every last aspect of this engine, so there probably will be a lot of parts in these kind of videos too. I just want to make sure you're very well informed and know exactly how to operate, and who knows, maybe you even find out some newer things that I didn't even know the engine was capable of. So let's continue. So he'll be like, I see you made Sam feel better. I'm like, wait. Do I have you for that? And then something, our character is not like speechless. Let's go ahead and have the player actually reply. No. Yes, inside his mind. It's all good. Boom. All right. So here we go. How do we set this up? Right, because remember, he's going to continue speaking on part 1 until we finish part 2 with Sam. So let's go ahead down to the parts. And we need to do... First, we need to do this. Part 1 has 3 sentences. So let's go ahead and put num max to 3. We're going to start it on the first sentence. This actually is a conversation that has 2 parts max, so we'll keep that too, like that. So when it gets to here, we're going to do this. We're going to checking if Sam we actually don't really need to do it, actually. There's a better way. put that to 1. That will automatically keep looping part 1. Just like that. The next thing that we'll have to end up doing is we'll do it inside of SAM. Yeah. So if it's less than, it's gonna do that. But then we want it to where it will actually repeat part 2 if the player actually gets it to that dialogue area. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna simply do the normal. We're gonna do the num max, which is going to equal 6, because in part 2, 6 is the max. We're gonna start it at 4, because that's when the first sentence of part 2 starts. We're going to actually repeat the scroll text, or reset it, and we're going to stop convo to false. We're going to allow the player to continue moving. So we'll put that on false. And then again, we want it to repeat this part. So because of how this person's set up, there's only one part we want to repeat. We don't necessarily need to subtract. We can simply just make it equal. But you can subtract it as well if you want to. Just letting you know. You can do this part equals 2. Or I mean equals 1, and then it'll automatically do the stuff. But what we're gonna do is we're just gonna subtract 1. Okay. So there. It will always repeat part 2. But it will only happen if the player unlocks part 1. So there's 2 ways this is gonna happen. Okay. You can either talk him up. Oh, no, I'm tripping. I need to open up SAM. Yeah, I was like, wait, something's not right. So let's go back into SAM, right? Okay, so there's pretty much 2 ways you can kind of do this. We're gonna figure out when does it seem like he's happier. That's part 3, right? Okay, that's part 3. That will do for now. So you literally got to get to the end. So this is on sentence 9. What do we do on sentence 9? We want to make sure that object Steve, the part 2 is unlocked, right? But that's only on sentence 9. You have to get to sentence 9 first. So what we're going to do is we're going to come to here, sentence 1. Yeah, you guessed it. All the way to sentence 9. Perfect. We are going to unlock Steven's second part of convo, just like this. So now you simply would do this: object Steven dot convo max, or part max equals 2. And there you go. It is unlocked, but only if you get to sentence 9. Only. So let's go ahead and make sure that's actually correct. Why is that correct? Because right here, we only started at 1. Even though it has 2 parts, we're only going to make sure it stays at 1. So it's only going to repeat up to sentence 3. That's it. And it's going to keep repeating. Sentence 3, all the way up to sentence 3. Then when you talk to Sam, it will automatically unlock. So now what if you talk to Sam first? Okay. And you get to the second part, and then you go talk to Sam. And then you go talk to Steven. What do you do? All right, let's go ahead and check this out. Sentence 9. So you can put it into sentence 9. You unlock the conversation, and you also want him to start on sentence Steven on sentence 4. So what you do is you just set everything up right here. There's 2 ways you can do this. You can actually do the object Steven dot, or you can simply do something like with object Steven, and then just simply put all of this stuff inside of here. So that's how we're gonna do it. We're gonna simply put with object Steven. We're going to make his max part equals 2. We're going to start his convo hard on 2 if we want to, or you can start it at the beginning. It's up to you. We're going to start it on 2. We're going to set the current sentence on 4. We're going to set the max amount of sentences in here to 6 because he's on the second part. And there we go. It is all set up. So what's happening? If you talk to Steven first, he's going to tell you about Sam. If you talk to Sam first and you get all the way to sentence 9, it will automatically start Steven off at, I see you made Sam feel better. Now, that being said, that's pretty cool. You know, so there's a lot of things you can kind of do when it comes to just working on the story aspect of your game. And again, I forgot to do this.